So today on 31st May 2026 in India, if you see the planetary positions, Sun is at 17 degree Taurus, located in Rohini Nakshatra second pada. The Nakshatra Lord for Rohini here is Moon, and Mars is at 15 degrees Aries, located in Bharani Nakshatra first pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Venus for Bharani. And Mercury's position, Mercury is at 3 degree Gemini, located in Mrigashira Nakshatra 4th pada. The Nakshatra Lord for Mrigashira is Mars, and Jupiter position is at 29 degrees Gemini, located in Punarvasu Nakshatra 3rd pada. The Nakshatra Lord here for Punarvasu is Jupiter, and Venus is at 20 degrees Gemini, located in Punarvasu Nakshatra first pada, and the Nakshatra Lord for Punarvasu is Jupiter. And Saturn is at 17 degrees Pisces, located in Revati Nakshatra first pada. The Nakshatra Lord here is Mercury. Rahu is at 9 degrees Aquarius, located in Shatabhisha Nakshatra first pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Rahu itself. And Ketu is at 9 degrees Leo, located in Magha Nakshatra 3rd pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Ketu himself, and because Magha Nakshatra belongs to Ketu. So all planets here are observed to be in direct motion, forward motion as usual, and Rahu and Ketu are in retrograde motion. They are always in retrograde motion, of course. And if you observe the planetary positions on 2nd June 2026, Sun is at 17 degrees Taurus, located in Rohini Nakshatra 3rd pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Moon. Mars is at 16 degrees Aries, located in Bharani Nakshatra 1st pada. The Nakshatra Lord for Bharani is Venus. And Mercury is at 7 degrees Gemini, located in Ardra Nakshatra 1st pada. The Nakshatra Lord for Ardra is Rahu. And Jupiter has entered Cancer on June 2nd, 2026. Cancer is called as Karkataka Rashi. Some people call it as Karka Rashi. And of course, Jupiter is positioned at 0 degrees Cancer here, located in Punarvasu Nakshatra 4th pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Jupiter. And Venus is at 22 degrees Gemini, located in Punarvasu Nakshatra 1st pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Jupiter. And Saturn is at 17 degrees Pisces, located in Revati Nakshatra 1st pada. The Nakshatra Lord here for Revati is Mercury. And Rahu is at 9 degrees Aquarius, located in Shatabhisha Nakshatra 1st pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Rahu, because Rahu is the Shatabhisha is Rahu Nakshatra. And Ketu is at 9 degrees Leo, located in Magha Nakshatra 3rd pada. The Nakshatra Lord is Ketu. So all planets, of course, on June 2nd also moving in direct motion, the forward motion, except Rahu and Ketu, because Rahu and Ketu, they are always in retrograde motion. So if you observe these positions, notably you can understand that Jupiter is moving into Cancer, which is Jupiter's much comfortable sign, and Jupiter exalts at a particular degree in Cancer, of course. So Jupiter is very good in Cancer. So these are the snapshots of the sky for May 31st and June 2nd, 2026. They are capturing one of the most significant astrological events of the decade. You can say the biggest event here is Jupiter's grand entry into Cancer, the Karka Rashi, on June 2nd. So in Vedic astrology, Cancer is Jupiter's sign of exaltation. Is where Jupiter is very comfortable, the place where it is very happiest, most powerful and capable of doing out its highest doing or delivering its highest blessings. So because this specific transit is incredibly fast moving because it's lasting only until 31st October 2026. Generally, when Jupiter enters a sign, it stays there for 1 year, but this time it is not like that because Jupiter is in Atichara. Jupiter is not supposed to be in Cancer by this time, but it has moved to Cancer. By this time it is moving to, and so this particular specific transit is incredibly fast moving, lasting only until 31st October 2026 before it briefly dips into Leo. Its effects will feel concentrated and fast acting because it is doing it a bit fastly. So you can see the impact is also a bit fast. And what are all the impacts on the world at large? And also especially people are thinking about United States of America these days more, because the moment it killed Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader, that time onwards USA is attached with some kind of karma. So, and even the kidnap of that Venezuela president. So the sequence of bad things or a kind of immoral things done by a country, and what will happen to that country if it is keep on doing all bad things or trying to control the world and without any exceptions. What kind of impact it may have on USA? That is the analysis that we're going to do. So first of all, we'll try to understand the global impact. See, when Jupiter, the cosmic amplifier of wisdom, finance and law, we say, it enters a Cancer, a watery sign ruling the subconscious, home, agriculture and emotions related energy, because it is a natural fourth sign also. So the global narrative shifts from restless hustling into internal and resource based security. So Jupiter is the Dhanakaraka, we say, the significator of wealth. Its exalted state favors financial restructuring, real estate and long-term investments. However, because it passes through intense nakshatra zones quickly, expect some emotional market volatility, meaning sudden pivots driven by public sentiment rather than pure logic. So sudden pivots driven by the public sentiment, that's what you can see. And Cancer rules nourishment and water. So we are likely to see massive global initiatives or critical policies surrounding food security, sustainable farming, clean water access and ocean conservation. And the intense compassionate water energy of Cancer forces a global demand for ethical, protective and human-centric governance. So issues relating to public health care or maternal support, child care and basic human welfare will take center stage during this time. That's June to October 2026. And Cancer is a fluid water sign, and Jupiter expands whatever it touches. That is a fundamental behavior of Jupiter. So Jupiter expands whatever it touches, and in astrology, the astrology literature frequently link this particular transit to heavy rainfall. So shifting climate patterns and water related events and financial things apart, this watery related things, it is beneficial for crops and challenging via flooding in coastal regions. And especially, so this is the overall thing, financial restructuring and heavy rainfall. It's kind of, you can say, the kind of waterfall is a kind of, it may lead to lot of floods. as an unusual water related things you can observe. And then this watery energy, I would say, a kind of unusual watery energy, because Jupiter should not be in Cancer at this point of time. It's in Atichara, so it has come to Cancer. So the financial restructuring is inevitable, and also the unusual water related activities are also very much expected. They are also inevitable. Now what would happen to USA, the Simhalagna nation, the Leo ascendant nation? See, in mundane astrology, the United States is traditionally read using a Leo ascendant, a Leo ascendant chart. So, for a Leo ascendant, this Cancer is the 12th house, the house of hidden expenses, foreign alliances, isolation, some subconscious shifts, and institutions like hospitals or prisons. Here, this particular exalted Jupiter in the 12th house is going to be a kind of shift in the history of USA. Normally, the 12th house can be tricky, but because Jupiter is exalted here, it acts as a kind of divine protector, operating from behind the scenes. Now, the 12th house governs foreign lands, so the US will likely engage in quiet diplomatic restructuring. Alliances will shift away from aggressive posturing toward humanitarian aid, protective treaties, and stabilizing global conflicts. The 12th house represents expenditures. The government may face massive background spending or legislative bills aimed at funding domestic infrastructure, healthcare, or hidden economic relief. It's an expensive period for the state, I would say, but one geared toward long-term stabilization. Cancer rules care, and 12th house rules prisons and hospitals. So expect a major national conversation or major reforms surrounding mental health infrastructure, rehabilitation facilities, and prison reforms. From the 12th house, exalted Jupiter casts its beneficial glance, we say the drishti, the aspect, onto three critical areas of the US chart. One is, as it is in the 12th house, it aspects the 4th house for USA chart, USA birth chart. So the 4th house of USA birth chart is Scorpio. So Jupiter's a very good drishti is on Scorpio, that is 4th house for Leo ascendant, which is USA here. So the affected areas because of this are homeland, domestic peace, and masses. It's a kind of positive impact. What I can say here is, because of this positive impact, USA strengthens the internal backbone of the country despite political polarization. It provides a safety net that prevents absolute chaotic collapse. Real estate and domestic infrastructure can find quite support. That is the expected behavior. And it also watches from 12th house, it watches the 6th house, which is Capricorn. And 6th house in a nation's chart generally represents national debt, labor force, public health. So because of this particular aspect helps the US navigate ongoing labor disputes or employment crisis. It provides strategic wisdom to handle federal debts and gives an upper hand over systemic adversaries or legal challenges. That is the expected behavior. Another important thing is Jupiter, by sitting in the 12th house, Cancer, for Leo ascendant, that is USA, it also watches the 8th house of this particular chart, which is Pisces. So this 8th house is majorly ruling the secret operations, shared wealth, and sudden events for USA. This is a highly spiritual and occult connection. It grants the intelligence community deep strategic advantages and can bring unexpected financial windfalls or structural updates to tax and insurance laws in USA. So this particular period for USA is less about flashing outward dominance and more about internal house cleaning. So the USA will be forced to look at its structural vulnerabilities, hidden debts, and domestic well-being, using this period as a karmic cushion to absorb external pressures. So this is the overall thing, but looking closely at this particular data, 31st May and June 2nd, a few rapid planetary movements stand out in just those 48 hours. Mercury is actually going to Ardra. On 31st May, Mercury is at 3 degrees Gemini in Mrigashira. It's ruled by Mars, very sharp, analytical, and debate heavy. But by June 2nd, it leaps to 7 degrees of Gemini, entering Ardra Nakshatra. It's ruled by Rahu. Ardra is symbolized by a teardrop in Vedic astrology and represents stormy transformation. So globally, this indicates a massive wave of tech breakthroughs, volatile media cycles, or sharp disruptive financial news just right as Jupiter shifts the sign. And Mars is strong in its own sign of Aries, the first house of the natural zodiac, bringing high energy impulses, while Venus sits comfortably in Gemini, you can see here, and this maintains a high momentum for innovation, the creator economy, you can say, and fast-paced communication, balancing out the heavier, more emotional water transit of Jupiter. So overall, I would say June 2nd, 2026 marks a collective breath. You can say the cosmos shifts from the intellectual noise of Gemini to the protective, intuitive waters of Cancer. So Gemini is a kind of, it's a noise, intellectual noise, whereas Cancer is always about care. So the care and telling the world that truth, strength right now lies in securing our foundations, protecting our resources, and leading with a bit more empathy. So that is what Cancer is trying to tell the world from 2nd June onwards. The moment Jupiter enters the Punarvasu 4th Pada, that is the Karkataka Rashi, the Cancer. So we're moving from the intellectual noise of Gemini to the protective shields or the protective waters of Cancer, but you can expect heavy waterfall in some of the areas of the world from 2nd June onwards. Thanks for watching this video.